Welcome back to Commando's Perspective. In today's video, we are going to talk about the beginning of the end of Saddam Hussein's regime. Now, the whole story started with the First Gulf War, or many others call it the Persian War. This war has greatly changed how we think about modern warfare. The Gulf War was a significant military conflict fought between two countries, or actually one country and a coalition, Iraq and the International Coalition Force, led specially by the United States of America. Now, this war lasted from August 1990 till February 1991. In this video, we're going to tackle a few points. First, we're going to discuss the mistakes made, we're going to talk about the strategies used, and we're going to talk about the strategic losses suffered. Wait, I'm sure there's one part we're gonna have to talk about and you're gonna be interested in listening to. The role of the special forces on both sides. I'm sure you're not gonna find it anywhere, that's why we're gonna talk about it and we're gonna explain about it. So now, let's start off by talking about the mistakes that were made during the war. The Gulf War was a complex and challenging conflict that required a comprehensive understanding of the terrain. The Iraqi army was fighting in the desert and he has a lot of experience. But the US troops or the coalition forces didn't have any experience. They had to understand the enemy's capabilities and what were the objectives. By the way, guys, I would suggest that you go and watch this movie. It's called American Soldiers: A Day in Iraq. It's a very good movie. It's very good to watch. I would suggest that you go and watch it if you didn't. We're only going to talk about two big mistakes. The first one was the underestimation of the Iraqi army's capabilities. The coalition forces assumed that the Iraqi army was poorly trained and poorly equipped, which turned out to be totally wrong. This misjudgment led to a prolonged fight and unnecessary casualties on the coalition side. Let's talk about another significant mistake during the war, and it was the decision to allow Saddam Hussein to go back and retreat after the coalition forces pushed them out of Kuwait. Now, even though the coalition destroyed the army in the highway of death, but they left Saddam alive. This decision gave Saddam Hussein another chance to stay in power and keep his military power in Iraq. And now we get to the second part of our video, the strategies that were used by the coalition forces. Different combinations of air and ground forces were put into action to defeat the Iraqi army during the Gulf War. The air campaign was a crucial strategy used to weaken the Iraqi army's morale and infrastructure. They had air superiority and they controlled the airspace, which helped them a lot in the war. What was the advantage of the coalition forces of having air superiority? They were able to target military installations, communication centers, and other critical infrastructure without having any problem. This tactic that was used was a very good point for the coalition forces. It was very successful and destroyed the Iraqi army's ability to launch an effective counterattack. But no army in the world can win a war with only air campaign. Ground forces are needed. That's why the coalition forces employed ground forces to play a significant role in pushing the Iraqi army out of Kuwait. The United States, United Kingdom, France, and Saudi Arabia participated in taking back strategic locations in Kuwait through tanks, artillery, and infantry. Now, moving on to the third part, we're going to be talking about the coalition forces' strategic loss that had a lot of effects during the war. Gulf War was a success. Kuwait was liberated, but all came at a cost. I'm gonna tell you in a second what was the strategic loss, but before that, if you're enjoying the video, like and subscribe. So guys, what do you think? What was the strategic loss? In our own perspective, the strategic loss suffered during the war was a failure to capture or kill Saddam Hussein. The coalition forces launched several operations to target or kill him, but they were unsuccessful. I'm sure that you want to hear about this part, which is the most important part of this video, and it is the role of the special forces. We're not going to be only talking about the coalition special forces, but also we're going to be talking about the Iraqi special forces. Let's start off by saying the Iraqi special forces, also known as the Republican Guard, played a crucial role in defending Kuwait against the coalition forces. They were responsible of many things, especially conducting raids on coalition positions, gathering intelligence, and carrying out targeted strikes on coalition forces. The Republican Guards were fierce in battle. They were also responsible for protecting Saddam Hussein and other high-ranking members of the Iraqi government. The highlights of the events were the Battle of Kuwait City, where the Republican Guards defended the city from the coalition forces. On the other hand, also the coalition forces or coalition special forces played a vital role in the Gulf War. Like the Iraqi special forces, they were responsible for a lot of specific missions. Which special forces from the coalition forces do you think was the most notable? Well, after the studies, it showed the Army's Delta Force was the most notable. And if you have any other thoughts, share it in the comments below. Let's get back to our subject. The Delta Force played a crucial role, especially in the Battle of Khafi. They were responsible of a lot of intelligence gathering and reconnaissance missions, which helped the ground troops advance with close air support. In the end, the role of the special forces on both sides played a crucial role in the First Gulf War. On the coalition forces side, the special forces gathered intelligence and carried out targeted strikes and provided support to ground troops. And on the other hand, the Iraqi Army's Special Forces units played a crucial role in defending Kuwait against the coalition forces. And now reaching the end of our video, the course of modern history was changed. This war has demonstrated the importance of military strategy, the use of air power, and the need of planning in modern warfare. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it enjoyable. If you did, please consider hitting the like button and subscribing to our channel.